if you love the story Hamlet, well, then the title of this next production may not be for you, but certainly will be for you if you'll enjoy a good show. Joining us now on the Michigan Megacast is Jenni Clark and Alan Canning from Grosse Pointe Theater's production of I Hate Hamlet. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate having both of you on. Let's start with Jenni. Can you tell us about yourself and when you began acting, and ultimately what led you to the Grosse Pointe Theater?
Well, Tyler, I have been performing all my life. I started in elementary school and all the way through college and high school, and I started with community theater when I graduated and moved up here, and I've been very active at Grosse Pointe Theater for nearly 30 years. I started my first performance there was in '92 with Noises Off, and I've just done a combination of musical theater and acting for as long as I can remember.
Alan, same thing to you. Tell us about your journey to the Grosse Pointe Theater and how you began or got into acting.
Oh, geez, I started late. I kind of connected with my wife through an off-Broadway production of Tony and Tina's Wedding, which was kind of my first foray into anything theatrical, and that wasn't until I was about 34. And I don't know, I got the bug and I started, going for everything I could possibly get. And I ended up at Grosse Pointe Theater to do a production called Exonerated, which was very cool. And just kept on going from there. I don't have the tenure that Miss Jenni has over there, but I really love the theater and all the people over there. It's, in my opinion, it's one of the best run theaters in town. It really is, business wise and everything else. But yeah, that's kind of where I came from. And like I said, I started late, so I'm new to the party.
So both of you will be performing in I Hate Hamlet, which is being put on by the Grosse Pointe Theater April 1st through 3rd and April 7th through 10th. For those that aren't familiar with the production, Alan, can you tell us about the play, what I Hate Hamlet is all about, and what the audience can expect?
Well, first off, I hate Hamlet. The play is very well written. Originally, I signed on to be the fight choreographer, sword training guy, probably about a year before it even got started. And eventually I read the script, I went through it, and I thought it was great. I thought, well, what the heck, might as well jump in with both feet and actually be in the thing. So auditioned, and here we are. It's about Andrew Raleigh, the character. He's a kind of a commercial LA guy, a commercial actor guy. And he is kind of a cheeseball, but he gets to play Hamlet in the park, which is a serious acting role. And he gets an apartment, which turns out to be John Barrymore's former apartment. John Barrymore is who I play, actually the ghost of John Barrymore. And old John comes back and tries to give him some pointers, and the whole Hamlet thing, which he's not familiar with. And Jenni and the rest of the girls are the ones that kind of get him there, and they do a seance, and it's funny stuff. It's definitely funny stuff.
And so then, Jenni, what about I Hate Hamlet makes it an interesting experience, or will make it an interesting experience for those theater goers that will be viewing the play?
Well, it's a comedy. It's you have this actor who comes into town, and he doesn't want to do Hamlet, but he's kind of talked into it by his German agent, and so and I am his girlfriend, and I love Hamlet. I think Hamlet is like the be all and end all, the greatest play ever written. I'm romantically engaged with the concept of him playing Hamlet. So the audience will watch this young man who doesn't want anything to do with it discover how great the play is and become very playful. And John Barrymore comes in as a ghost who, very few people can even see, and he orchestrates everything that happens. And it's just funny to watch. It's got sword fighting, it's got a little romance, it's got a little playfulness. So it's got everything that makes a play enjoyable to watch. Plus, it's based on the concept of, to be or not to be. And here we all are, creating a show after the pandemic and making people laugh again in a live theater as part of Grosse Pointe Theater's 74th season. And it's very exciting to do.
We're joined by Jenni Clark and Alan Canning from the Grosse Pointe Theater. Their production of I Hate Hamlet begins on April 1st, runs April 1st through 3rd and 7th through the 10th at the Grosse Pointe Theater in the newly renovated Parcells Middle School Auditorium. Tickets available on gpt.org/Hamlet. That's gpt.org/Hamlet. And so, Jenni, Alan told us a little bit about his character, about the ghost of John Barrymore. Tell us a little bit about your character and how they factor into this story.
Well, my character is Deirdre McAfee, and I am Andrew's girlfriend. I love Hamlet. I'm somewhere between a mix of a Valley girl and a Jane or a Bronte heroine. So I think of myself very dramatically, and I'm very earnest with what I do, though. So my character just loves the idea of Hamlet, and I do everything I can to support Andrew's quest. But I also have the fact that one of the elements of for Andrew is that I'm a 29-year-old virgin and I refuse to sleep with him until I'm really sure. So there's this whole element of, of Hamlet and his angst, and he, and it just is a fun role to play. And I'm very overdramatic and I'm very romantic, and I see myself as Juliet or Ophelia. And I'm also a terrible actress when it comes down to performing with him. When I have this feeling that I'm just the end, and I'm just so dramatic and romantic, and it's just a fun role to play, to just get out there and have fun.
And so, Alan, Jenni mentioned the parallels between the story of Hamlet, which plays, of course, a significant role in the storyline of I Hate Hamlet, and kind of those parallels to the world that we're living in coming out of the pandemic slowly but surely. For you, getting back in the theater in an in-person experience across the board with your castmates, with you originally getting into this play as a choreographer for the fight scenes, and having that in-person interaction, and then of course performing this production in person. What's it been like for you to get back into the theater now that we've got COVID-19 mostly in the rearview mirror at this point?
I'm not worried about it. I was in a production of Virginia Woolf a couple of years before even COVID even hit. And I decided to take a little bit of time. So I've been kind of off for 3, 4, or 5 years or whatever it was, all through COVID. My wife and I got it early on, and we got rid of that. And then we're good. I just continue on with the process, and it really doesn't bother me at all. I don't know. Like you said, it's in the rearview mirror. That's great. So let's get on with it, and let's do some theater, man. Let's get on with it.
And so, Jenni, for you too, same line of questioning as Alan. For you, as someone that has a little more experience in acting in your past than Alan has, and having experienced what theater was like before the pandemic in a number of different capacities during the pandemic, and now as we're starting to emerge out from the pandemic here in the U.S., what's the experience been like for you?
Well, Grosse Pointe Theater is a very healthy, focused place. I mean, it's really one of the best places to do theater in town. As Alan mentioned earlier, it's a great supportive community. The leadership's excellent. The executive director really has set some great protocols. So we all felt very safe during the rehearsal process. It's just great to get back to live theater and have an audience out there, and to know that we will make them laugh. I mean, I think there's been a period of time where we've all been shut away and we didn't get to enjoy it. My husband does theater again with Grosse Pointe Theater, and he did some singing in the streets to keep bringing live theater out to people in our community. And it's great to come back now and to stand up there and to deliver lines that we know will make people laugh, that will connect. Everybody up there will find somebody on the stage that they can watch. There's different things. The set is gorgeous. I mean, it was designed by Jackie DeSante, and it's this old apartment. It's supposed to be Barrymore's old apartment. So, I think that this is giving people an invitation to come back out there and enjoy theater again. And it's going to be a fun time.
And then, so Jenni, for those that may be interested in going to the theater and seeing this production, what about I Hate Hamlet is going to be the great draw for people that maybe they're not really into the theater, maybe they're not really into comedy, but this is the show that could be, for, like you said, for anybody. What's going to be that draw?
Well, I think there's a little bit of everything. I think when you think of entertainment, sword fighting has got to be right up there. And there's this brilliantly staged sword fight at the end of Act 1 between Barrymore and Andrew that will, is just, I think, is one of the highlights of any Shakespearean type of production. There's also lively characters, people that they will find amusing, people that they will find dramatic or romantic, or just things that they can relate to. I think live theater can appeal to anyone. Even if you don't like Shakespeare, you will love I Hate Hamlet, because the script is brilliant, it's funny, it's got a little bit of something for everyone, and it's just going to be a beautiful production.
We're joined by Jenni Clark and Alan Canning from the Grosse Pointe Theater. Joining us on the Michigan Megacast, their production of I Hate Hamlet begins on April 1st, runs April 1st through 3rd and 7th through 10th through the Grosse Pointe Theater at the newly renovated Parcells Middle School Auditorium. Get your tickets and more information on their website at gpt.org/Hamlet. That's the Grosse Pointe Theater's website, gpt.org/Hamlet. Alan, what are you most excited for in the performance of this production?
Getting people out again, getting people to laugh, like Jenni said. It's been kind of a long process, and it's been very, depressing, if you will, getting people locked away and whatnot. It's going to be great to get them in the audience, preferably without masks, and just hanging out again, laughing. And I've got buddies from high school that probably have never seen any of the stuff that I do. And they're saying, we're going to come out. We're going to come out. And for them to come out, I mean, these are guys, these are kind of like meat and potato guys. They don't go to the theater. Let's put it that way. So I haven't seen them in a long time. It's going to be great to get them in the audience, hearing them laugh, and including everybody in the community. That's going to be the big thing. It's just getting them to laugh and get them to have a good time again,
We're joined by Jenni Clark and Alan Canning, cast members of the Grosse Pointe Theater's production of I Hate Hamlet, April 1st through 3rd and 7th through 10th at the Parcells Middle School Auditorium, newly renovated, so a great environment over there. More information on the Grosse Pointe Theater's website, gpt.org/Hamlet. That's gpt.org/Hamlet, where you can purchase tickets, learn more about the program, and any restrictions or requirements that may be in place when you do go to the theater. Alan, Jenni, anything else for us before we'll say goodbye today?
Well, I'd have come on out, come see the show, come enjoy, come discover Grosse Pointe Theater.
Alan, anything else?
I just want to make it clear that I hate.
Well, you can too out there in the audience watching on the Michigan Megacast. If you hate Hamlet, go support them in their hatred of Hamlet in the production of I Hate Hamlet at the Grosse Pointe Theater, April 1st through 3rd and 7th through 10th. Jenni, Alan, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
I love Hamlet.